My parents chose my sister over me, then tried to sue me for it. I was standing alone in the rain, soaked to the bone, outside the courthouse when it hit me: love shouldn't come with conditions. My name is Sarah, and this is the story of how I lost everything I thought I needed, and found something far greater. Growing up in a modest home in upstate New York, my family always seemed normal from the outside. Dad was a mechanic, Mom a school librarian. We didn't have much, but we had enough. At least, that's what I believed until my younger sister, Emily, was born. She came into the world with a heart condition that meant endless hospital stays and mountains of bills. From the very beginning, Emily became the center of our family's universe. I understood, she needed more care. I was 9, old enough to help, old enough to step aside. And so, I did. For years, I shrunk myself down so Emily could shine. But as I got older, that quiet sacrifice turned into a haunting absence. My school plays, my straight A's, my scraped knees, none of it mattered. They didn't come to my graduation. They forgot my birthday more than once. Still, I held on. I thought, one day, they'll see me. I worked 2 jobs to put myself through college. They said they couldn't help, Emily needed every dime. I never asked again. After college, I landed a job at a nonprofit that supported low-income families, and slowly, I built a life. I had a tiny apartment, a dog named Toby, and a tight group of friends who saw me. For the first time, I felt whole. Until the day my phone rang. It was my mom, crying. Emily was in trouble again. This time, she needed an experimental surgery not covered by insurance. My parents had remortgaged the house. They were broke. We just need $75,000, she said, her voice cracking. Please, Sarah. You're doing well now. I blinked in disbelief. I'd saved every penny to buy my first home, something small but mine. My therapist called it a symbol of reclaiming the childhood I never had. I tried to explain that to my parents, gently, with all the compassion I could muster. I love Emily, I told them. But I can't give you that money. It would wipe me out. There was silence on the other end. Then came the words I'll never forget: so you're choosing a house over your sister's life? They hung up. A week later, I received a letter. They were suing me for promissory fraud. According to them, I had implied financial support and then withheld it. I laughed at first. It sounded so absurd. But the lawsuit was real, and so was the heartbreak. My own parents had taken me to court for choosing myself. The legal battle lasted 6 months. I drained my savings, not on the house, but on legal fees. The court ultimately dismissed their claim, citing it as emotionally charged but legally baseless. Still, I was left hollow. My parents didn't speak to me. Emily sent one text: I didn't ask them to do that. I'm sorry. But by then, sorry felt too small. One evening, I was at a support group for adult children of toxic parents, something I'd reluctantly agreed to try. A woman named Jean shared her story of being disowned after coming out. She said something that stuck with me: sometimes the family you're born into breaks you so that you can find the one you're meant to build. That night, I walked home under the stars, something shifting in me. Maybe it wasn't about making them love me. Maybe it was about learning to love myself. In the months that followed, I leaned into kindness, not for them, but for others. I organized community drives, helped single mothers find housing, mentored teens with nowhere to go. I began writing anonymously online about my journey, healing from being the forgotten child, the scapegoat, the one who said no and paid the price. I called the blog The Other Daughter. One story I shared went viral. A letter to my younger self, telling her she mattered, even if no one clapped when she walked the stage. Messages poured in. A teacher in Ohio, a mother in Texas, a soldier stationed in Germany, they all said the same thing: me too. Then, the unexpected happened. Emily showed up at my apartment one rainy afternoon, thin and pale, eyes rimmed with regret. She looked around my tiny place, filled with second-hand furniture and plants I'd named. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "I don't have much," I said. "You have everything," she replied, her voice breaking. We talked for hours. She told me how she begged them to drop the lawsuit. How trapped she felt, both grateful and guilty for all they gave up for her. "I always admired you," she said. "You got out. You became someone." I wanted to scoff, to say, "At what cost?" But I didn't. I saw the little girl in her eyes, the same one who once clung to me during thunderstorms. In that moment, something softened. I didn't forgive my parents. Not yet. Maybe not ever. But I forgave the part of me that had been begging them to see me. I didn't need it anymore. Months passed, and Emily and I rebuilt something fragile but real. She started working with me at the nonprofit. One day, she spoke at a fundraiser, sharing her journey, and mine. "My sister saved me in more ways than one," she said, tears in her eyes. "Not with money, but with love I didn't deserve, and strength I couldn't understand until now." There wasn't a dry eye in the room. That night, I got a message from my dad. Just 4 words, "I'm proud of you." I didn't reply. But I smiled. Because in the end, this story isn't about the lawsuit, the betrayal, or even the pain. It's about rising from it. It's about choosing compassion even when you've been denied it. It's about realizing that your worth isn't determined by who loves you, but by how deeply you choose to love yourself, and the world, in return. And maybe, just maybe, it's about how sometimes, losing everything is how you finally come home, to yourself.